All right. Yay. Yay. Do you want to do this or you want me to do it, Square?
You do it. Let's see how
All
fast we can
right.
get
Oh my gosh.
it.
All right, everybody. Hey, welcome to MVP Office Hours. Today's September 5th. It's a Friday. Yay. Happy Friday. 2025. Registration is bit.ly/MVPOH, all caps. Recordings are available on YouTube. Um, we generally have this call on the first and third Fridays of each month. If our calendar says otherwise, please let us know, unless we've talked about it previously. You can find Squire and I on LinkedIn, and follow us there. If you want additional information about mvpofficehours.info is the place to go. We do have an email address, however, we don't recommend it. Hashtags problem solved together, community learner, MVPOH. Upcoming events.
Oops, sorry.
Um, South California Dreamin' in Newport Beach. That's next week. And Jarl Dreamin' 2025 in Sri Lanka. That's also next week. I'm not traveling that far because I just got back from Boston. Ned was great. Tidy, tidy little event, compact, like really well done. September 15th is release readiness highlights on Salesforce Plus. October 7th, they have release readiness QA on Q&A on Salesforce Plus. And then October 14th, we've got Dreamforce 2025. I'll be there, Squire. Yes.
Yep.
We'll be there. So if you see us in person, please help us because people out of context really throw me for a loop. And somehow no one looks like their profile picture anymore. I certainly don't. That picture was like, whew, like more than 5 years ago because COVID was 5 years ago. So it was more than 5 years ago. But I look like I look now. Um, but if you want to see more events, when you're not looking at our slide, it's salesforce.com/events and trailhead.salesforce.com/community/conferences. Next slide. We want everyone to share their experiences, insights, and ideas with the group. I know you can read. Um, let's keep it professional. Don't share your screen with private or proprietary information. We want to keep everyone's job secure. And please, under no circumstances, can our call be transcribed by an AI tool? We are recording. We want to have fun, stay professional and positive. Reminder, we are recording. And then Success Community is your friend. The QR code on the screen is going to get you to our community group. And you can get there on your mobile. Your Trailhead app will get you there also. So that's a lot of fun. But post your questions there and we can help you in between meetings. Next.
That's it.
Yay. All right. So the first question we had is from Pat, regarding profiles that are not being used by a customer. They have lots and lots of profiles, but they're only using a couple.
So
And maybe they have lots of other things that they're not using. And so, Linda, this sounds like your favorite topic.
before you jump in on this, really just want to go back one slide, but I'm not going to bring it up. Um, if you're watching this and you're thinking to yourself, "Wait, I missed it." There was a snafu with our scheduling link, so the Bitly
Yes.
wasn't allowing registrations. That's on me. It won't happen again. And so we'll see you in 2 weeks. So if you're watching this, just gonna hand it off that was it's we haven't stopped. We just needed
Ooh,
help. So
right. That reminded me, we didn't talk about the next meeting is in 2 weeks,
yep,
whatever that date is. Someone knows, someone who can read a calendar can tell me what
19th.
that is. Okay, it's the 19th if you say so.
14, 18. Yep, yep.
Pat, do you want to frame your question better than I did? I would love that.
Yeah, well, I can share and I'll show you what's going on. I'm not sharing anything proprietary, I don't think. Oop, I got the wrong screen. Oh no, this is
Uh-oh.
it.
No, 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 no. Sorry.
Are those
Um,
usernames and passwords I see? I'm just kidding.
yeah. And this is
No.
my yeah, I got the right screen. Come on. Anyway, we're still on the old system of profiles and instead of having one base profile and then adding permission set groups or permission sets, okay?
Hmm.
So finally, yesterday, I sat down, made a spreadsheet. We have salespeople, SDRs, CSRs, and some other, maybe one or two other groups of people, small groups, okay? But we only have end users and super users and a developer profile. And just looking at this, it told me, well, certain people don't need all of this.
Mm.
So, I guess I really don't. I don't
Can
think.
you
Go ahead.
can you define your certain people by like the jobs that they do and define what they do need access to?
Well, a SDR does not need. Um, they don't need access to orders. You see these order delivery
Mm-hmm.
orders, order lines, and I did not do this. Orders old don't use. That was there when I came here. Okay. I just haven't fixed it, as in taking it off of being able of the page layout, which we
Right.
don't use. Or an SDR doesn't need access to. I can tell you, our finance people don't need access to most of this stuff. They just need to know what the sales were so they can create commission reports.
Right. So they need to be able to view some things so that they can create reports
Exactly.
that may have some things. So um, there's a couple different ways you can approach this. And I'm sure that, well, Squire's got lots of advice on this. Linda has lots of advice on this. Clayton and Ann, I don't know where your experience level is on this, but you might have some advice on this also. Um, I personally, if you have folks that are window shoppers, that just need to view the things and run reports, I would create like a separate permission set group for those people, based on what they need. You've got your base level access and then the read permissions that they'll need, right? Correct? Yes, not right. That's a terrible word to use today. Um, and then you can peel back the current permission sets that they have that are over permissioning, depending on how your change management situation is at the place that you work.
Well, it's probably pretty good because we have a IT manager that is like Pentagon security. So kind of like what he says goes. So I'm able to use him at the end of this month that, hey, we have too many Salesforce admins.
Yeah,
So and so has says we have too many, and with best practices, 5 of you people are losing those rights.
right. And I think it really comes down to what do they need? Like, why are they set at system admin? Were they set at system admin because someone didn't know how to give them the appropriate permissions? Or are they set at system admin because they're doing system admin level work? Like I think
Right.
that's really what it comes down to. Because it is possible that you could have 5 folks at system admin in production because that's what you need, right?
Right. Yeah.
Depending on how many users you have, how many developers you have, how many, what kind of situation you have, you know, going around. But a lot of that comes down to someone didn't define what was needed well, and someone else said, have it all.
And
You know,
I think yes. Yes, it was in that type of situation. They
Mhm.
really didn't know. I'm the first Salesforce admin
That they've hired, right?
that they've hired, correct. And so and you always can use, like, when I do updates once a week
Hmm.
to production, and I can use the email as in for the security of the fields and the org, blah blah blah. You know how you spin that. This is
Yeah,
why this is changing and this is changing. So, um,
you're mitigating the risk for the business. That's great.
exactly, exactly. And so I
Hmm.
know that the IT security manager will back us up because I think we have like a little bit like Pentagon security, but you can never be too secure. So
I Well, there's something to that, right? Like there is unmanageable security and there is, which is not scalable. And then there is scalable security, which is doesn't feel quite as restricting. And so that's why whatever plan you put together matters.
Yeah, and I only need to go into the office once a week, but quite a bit I go, not quite a bit, probably at least once a month I go twice a week. So it's a small company, and so I get around to talk to everybody. I don't think I'm very effective in the office because I'm out circulating kind of a little bit, maybe, for an
What
hour
is,
or so.
what does Mike Gearholt call it? Sabwa?
Sabwa.
Salesforce adminning by walking around.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it.
So I can spin it, and I don't even
Mhm.
need to spin it. I can just say, hey, this is why we're doing this, and this is what it's going to bring us, and it's going to make the org not only more secure but more useful.
Yeah, and
So,
it's safe, it's safer for users too. Because
yeah.
if they can't see data they're not supposed to see, they can't get in trouble for it.
I would also add, this might be a weird approach, but this is what I had to do at a very large org where I had to rationalize an obscene amount of objects and field and etc. Some of those objects you might also want to take a look at the data, right? Because there were many object permissions that were granted, and literally it was created, I don't know, 10 eons ago, and they're literally one record, and it's like
Mhm.
test.
And
Um,
the object data, the object itself is tech debt. It's not just the
Yeah,
permission.
exactly. And so that might be an opportunity to also not only reduce and remove access, but also deprecate any custom objects that are not being used.
Mm.
Because it was like red hot topics, and I was like, well, apparently it's not that hot because the last one that was created was like 2017, and it was called test. Um,
Change management and adoption was low.
yeah. So that is just an idea, is to also take a peek at the data, because just because they're like, oh, I think I used that, and then you look at it, you're like, no, because it was test, and it was created, over
Yeah.
10 years ago. I
There's
don't think
4
so.
records that no one can see.
Yes.
Well, and even go one step further, because I'm yes, that all that's true, but also, I'm looking at your list here, Pat, and some of these things are required because of the cloud you're running, and maybe you're not using them at all. And so even though you have, like, I'm going to make something up, even though you've got skills as create and read, if you're not using skills, like, you might still, like, some of these things you have to leave on even if you're not using that package because of the way it ties in. But I want to bring this all the way back to where Joy had it started, which is like, when we talk about a persona represents not, I have access to contacts. It represents, what does this person do? Oh, or this role do. They need access to contacts and contracts and X. And that gives you a better perspective of what your permissions are, to the point of even, and I know we're not talking about the detail on the screen or doing anywhere near the analysis that you've already done. But when I look at this, the first thing I think of is you have one permission and then a delete permission. So, like, this gets real easy when you're talking about only object access. But what this doesn't tell you now is, well, where are the field level changes below these objects? Where are all the system settings? Where are all your application settings? Don't get caught up in the minutia of this object table when there's so much more to look at. And if you start at persona, meaning words that define the role, not objects and fields that define the role, it's going to help you have a better plan over time.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that was eloquently stated. Thank you, Squire.
Much like Joy, it seems like that's all I talk about, so I appreciate that. It came out clean, so thanks.
I will also
If you-
do a shout out to listen to the first Jam Pod where Squire throws down.
I literally was
So
just
if
going to
y'all
say the
haven't
same
had a
thing.
chance to
Yeah.
check out the very first episode, you can hear more about Squire on that topic.
Well, and actually, let's not even
Yeah,
talk
go
about
ahead.
that. Like, the most recent True to the Core deep dive was awesome in this space. There was a lot of great content about the where it's at now as far as all this. Lots of great Q&A, and had Cheryl responding. So if you're going to listen to anything, definitely listen to that, because it's going to help with the long run as well. So
We should pull those links together, Squire, and we can pop
Oh.
those out on LinkedIn again.
You bet.
The True to the Core recording, I think, if it's available, and then I mean, the podcast is, I mean, it's we explain it. We explain it a lot. Um, Pat, how you feeling about your challenge?
Well, I'm feeling good. I'm
Okay.
feeling like it's got to be done by the end of the month, and it will. Heck,
Hmm.
tied to my bonus. So,
There you go.
Yeah, I guess the only message I'll offer, because we're in the midst of a full org with multiple business units doing this, and so we're calling it Project Incognito, and we're all working together on it, and everybody's got different ideas and thoughts and stuff. Is like, I think the biggest thing is you have to do it slowly and intentionally, or you will miss stuff, and you have to do it like the way you eat an elephant, which
Hmm.
and just like focus on a thing and finish that thing, whether that thing is app access, IP range, whatever. Focus on it, intentionally complete it within the scope of your personas, and then move on. Otherwise, it just turns into this hornet's nest of security breach.
got it.
I was explaining to someone this week that there's always resistance when people's permissions are clawed back, right? They're like, "Oh, but I can see this. I used to be able to see this." And I was like, "Yeah, and it's a risk to you. Like you should not see this record or you should not see this piece of data. It is a risk to you. If you subconsciously see a piece of data that you're not supposed to see and that you don't really realize that you're ingesting, right? Maybe it's the purchase of a thing, right? And your company is publicly traded and you go and you decide to buy some stock based on this information that you ingested and you don't really understand why like it's in your head or whatever and you go buy stock and like insider trading, you could get in some big trouble. Like you go to jail. And it's not that we don't trust you, is that we don't want you to have a reason to be trusted. Like we don't want you to have a reason to have to like think about what you are and are not supposed to like allowed to talk about or share or think about in these things. Like and the folks that work in finance, they see all sorts of things, right? And folks that work in in other places, you in medical, like you see all sorts of things in the health industry, you see all sorts of things. But there are things that like you don't need to see. And if you don't see it, then you can't step your foot into a pile of poop. Like inadvertently. We don't want anyone to get in over permission. And it's really it's not about trust, it's not about authority, it's not about power or hierarchy. It is about literally like your job says that this is a level of risk that you are allowed to be part of. That's it. And quite frankly, you don't get paid enough to see social security numbers. End of story. Like you don't get paid enough to see PII. No, no, it's too risky.
I'll offer
Yep.
one other risk thing is do not no, I shouldn't say it like that. Do not be thoughtful about how you roll this out. And what I
Hmm.
mean by that is don't deprecate your profile to build your permission to kind of like migrate because you don't have a rollback plan. My recommendation
Hmm.
is clone your profile so you
Yes.
have something to prune back and or clone your permissions and
Hmm.
keep track of what it was the day you started so you can always jump back to when someone goes, nothing works. You don't have to pull it apart. You can just be like, well, we'll flip you back. We'll figure out why the new permissions don't work and you're off and running, especially whether it's I can't get access or suddenly I do have access, so much faster to resolve that as an admin than it is to try to, like basically like go back to an old
Yes.
version, like code deployment mentality.
You're,
Have
yep.
a plan.
Creating technical debt that you're going to clean up.
Yep.
Like don't touch the stuff that exists. Create new.
Yep.
And clean it when it's proven.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
still have that. Remember, you told me to keep that one sandbox that's untouched,
Hmm.
and it says "Do not touch."
Yep. Now the important thing there, Pat, is don't forget to log in once in a while because it'll auto
Yeah.
delete on you.
Right. Yeah. But
Yeah, when you send out that weekly email, make sure you log into that sandbox.
Yep.
So
So-
I have so with regards to that particular feedback, is she back deploying anything once it's something stabilized or firmed up? Right. So she's deployed a change and let's say 3 months later, everybody's happy with the change or no one's complaining about the removal of a change, should she back deploy to, I guess, add it to a stabilized base or
Right.
branch of
This
that
is what we
logic?
were saying is like, don't mess with the originals. Create a new profile, create, create the things new, so that you can make that migration so that when something doesn't work, you have a fallback plan. I'm really hoping that you can test heartily before you push that to production. Um, but there's always something.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I maybe to that question too, like there's inherent risk in this effort. So there has to be some sort of like, I'm going to call it a drop dead date, but like if you've done all of your testing and you feel
Mhm.
confident that what you're going to switch over to is functional, then you should also have and now I'm going to make up a number. 6 months later, we've had no problems. Now it's time to deprecate those originals because they don't need to be there anymore. If you have an org that can live with a bunch of like,
You aren't near your limits.
No, we're
yeah,
not.
but like on the other hand, I mean, the challenge with that is every time a new feature comes in that adds to profiles or permissions, you're not modifying those, but they're going to get modified. So it's this weird juggling of, are you ready to cut over and are you ready to deprecate and really have thoughtful conversations about that? Which goes back to this grid that you have up right now, Pat. If you've got it well documented, you've got your personas defined, you've got your standards as far as like our profiles will look like X, and after we cut over, we know why they look like all that helps support it when you have that oblique moment. But if we do it right to start, you won't have one of those afterwards.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah, we have plenty of room. We're not near, you know. And yes, I will, keep this grid as it is. And
Mhm.
then when I need to update, we have a new grid, you know,
Mhm.
Yep.
updated date, blah, blah, blah. So,
One
okay.
last question. Are you using user and permission analyzer to help you, or are you working from like setup and just looking at the perm clicks?
I do have that user and permission analyzer. I haven't used it yet. So that'd be like Monday.
Okay. I mean, it's really helpful, and you can reproduce this grid on the fly. You don't have to worry about whether you accidentally sorted it or typed something wrong. It's if you get good at that analyzer, using it and using it for your compares and using it for your conversions, it will be a lifesaver.
Okay. All right. Cool beans. I'm good. I'm gonna stop sharing.
Okay.
All right.
So-
Anne, what were you? Oh, go ahead, Linda.
So while we've been talking about security, I don't know how many people saw, but sometime from Monday until the 17th, everyone's org is getting updated related to connected apps and the security around connected apps.
Mhm.
If you have not done it, I highly recommend you do a review of the OAuth usage from setup for your connected apps to see which connected apps people are using. If they are good, like you want people to be able to connect to these things, you should be installing those connected apps, or when
Mhm.
this change gets deployed to you, those users won't be able to connect to them anymore.
Yeah, like talk about clawing back access. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna
Additionally,
happen. Yeah, it's gonna happen quick here.
what you're gonna find when that happens, I've checked with my AE and our org, it's happening this weekend. If that app was using, say, a device flow, which is not going to be allowed anymore, that user may need to re-authenticate come the next time they go to use it. So, especially if you use things like a third-party tool for syncing over email, or
Mhm.
admin users who like to use Workbench, or Data Loader is, of course, the biggest one.
Yep.
There is a new version of Data Loader out, so make sure you've gotten it and installed it. Do not use the old ones.
Man.
And also like connections for other third-party tools. If you use like your set own Capado, all those are actually connected apps. So you need to kind of look at those and say, how are these ones we want to use? And if they are ones you really don't want people using, block them.
Gearset put a banner across the top of
They
their.
did to tell you how and took you to links about how to do it. A number of the tools have done that. That I've seen emails come out from tools like DocuSign.
Mm-hmm.
I,
It's
I
gonna.
know I know I've seen the emails, but is there also like a knowledge article or a release update or something somewhere? Can we put that in the chat?
I think there was a bit of there was definitely a blog entry talking about it. There might have been a knowledge article. I honestly got a lot of my info from other posts I saw on LinkedIn about how to do it. And just from my doing a lot of them before and cleaning it up. When you first install a connected app, usually it kind of takes the default of anyone can kind of self-authorize. If you really want to restrict the users, you're going to have to change that to admin approved. Make sure the connected app is available to either their profile or in a permission set that they are in a member of. And interestingly, if you're like in the backend trying to deploy all these changes, connected apps don't actually live in either the permission set or the profile. So the permissions for those don't actually live there. They live on the connected app. Which makes it lots of fun because a lot of times connected apps are something you don't want to deploy between environments because sometimes they include the client secret and client key.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd like to hear a little bit more about this because I saw that they were making that change, but you're saying, this, I just need a little clarification like DocuSign. If we're connected to DocuSign and we put certain people that have access to it, is there something we're gonna have to do?
So basically in the connected app OAuth usage page, I'm sorry, I can't show you my org. Otherwise I would show you an example. And my sandbox, I'm not connected to some of these apps.
Okay,
You'll see a list of all the connections that apps that have been made. To the far right of each connection, you'll see buttons.
uh-huh.
If it's not installed, you will see a button that says install. You will also see a button for everyone that says block. If it is installed, you'll see a link for manage app policies as well. If it's not installed and it's one you know users need to use, like DocuSign, install it. It's simple. It's a click. It opens in a new tab. You tell it to install that for your org, and then you'll be able to control who has access if you need to. Thanks, Pat. So you'll see there, she's got a lot that with like this little install button on it. So if you clicked on one of those, it takes you to a new tab. It allows you to install. Don't do it right now. I don't want to mess with your org. You'll also see ones that have that link that say manage app policies. By default, when you install one of those new apps, it is available for all users to kind of self-enroll or self-connect. You can manage the app policy and change that to say, hey, you have to be part of a profile or a permission set to be allowed to authenticate to this app. There are also additional settings in there, things like, oh, once you authenticate, the token expires immediately, or it's good for a really long time. You can set what that time is, but be aware of what you're doing and test thoroughly before you change those settings. Some apps will define that for you or tell you what that should be. And if you're not sure, reach out, especially to a third-party app. What does this need to be? Why? And ask them why. If we can never, it should stay until revoked. Why? What is it doing that it needs to do that? Like, own backup is one that you might need to keep because it's constantly going back and forth and copying over your backup data. Yep, there's the blog entry for it.
I put it in the chat too if you need a quick link.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And honestly, the connected app OAuth usage is something you should check periodically. Now that they're making this restriction, you shouldn't get new things unless an admin's doing it. But if your org has too many admins, you might want to watch it.
Yeah, I'm really
Thanks,
glad you
Linda.
brought that up. Thank you.
Okay. no, get off my soapbox.
Not quite as critical, but we've been dealing with it as well. Another release update that just hit is you may have seen the verified email 2016 grandfather date passed on September 1. What that is in Salesforce, in order to send emails, you have to have a verified email address. You do that from your user record. But if the user was created prior to November of 2016, they didn't actually have to have that. They were grandfathered in for, I'm not entirely sure why that was, but it was. So you might have people that have never verified now saying, I can't send emails anymore. And that's what it is. They just go to their advanced system settings on their profile and click verify and click the link and they're off and running. But if you start getting weird messages, that's what that is.
Cool. All right. Let's see. Anne.
Okay. So this is not my org. This is a automotive with the financing side trial org.
Fantastic.
How do I get this to not cover my stuff?
What do you mean not cover your stuff?
See how it's covering part of the left nav is covering part of the
Go over
workspace.
to the right to the down thing. You got to change your view. Way over to the right where it says change owner. Go over to that down arrow. What's the printable view look like?
Yeah, it just prints the record. It's not going to
Oh.
change the layout.
Ooh, this is
Whoa.
old school.
Yeah.
Whoa.
This is-
I feel like
this
I'm
is-
back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Holy buckets.
Okay.
Cool.
So sorry, that just came up. No, the question I had was how old is this? And I'm assuming this is the compact layout.
No, this is the timeline. Compact layout is the gray bar at the top of your page.
So how do I define what shows up here?
In your timeline,
Yes.
there's not a lot of options. So what do you want to be able to do?
I will want to maybe modify what is shown here.
So like when you expand an activity in the timeline, you want to change like the quick view.
Yeah.
Isn't that a field set?
Well, on activity and events, it's a little bit unique. I believe this is the compact layout of an activity, but it's not specifically the compact layout. So if you open up BA1, is it the same 3 fields displayed at the top of
Yeah.
that?
So when I did that, I went.
Yep.
Oops. I guess I reopened it again. But I went to edit.
Yep.
Object, compact layout, and it's not the same fields.
Nope. So there's a couple things going on here, and we deal with this every single time. So it's a combination of let's see here. I'm trying to remember the timing on it. Or not the timing, the way it works. So because the compact layout itself is how you assign to the record the top, but this like smaller one is like what is it called? Sorry, and I'm trying to talk and fill space and find it in my org. So 1 second. But go ahead.
So you're trying to change timeline.
Yes. So I'm trying to, because it's been a hot minute since I've done configuration work. I'm not used to timeline. This is my first foray into an industry cloud. Because now I'm back into Salesforce ecosystem. Yay for my day job.
So this is the one that you pulled from the App Exchange, yes?
No, this is
No.
what was included as part of standard
Okay.
industry cloud now.
All right. 1 second.
So if you go, which object did you
So if
open?
I go here and I go to timeline.
Yep. So nope, it's not that. So you want to go to the task compact layouts. Is that where you were when
But this is not a task.
Yes, it is.
It is?
Kinda.
So
It's
the
kinda
task
wrapped
timeline is going to be emails, activities, and events. So that BAL, what did that open? What record did it open?
So this is a financial account balance object. So you're saying that these are tasks?
They are activities.
Yeah. And so that's why it gets like weird, is because it's all the timeline holds it's almost like a lightning component that does an accumulation of multiple things. That's why you can see like email objects, and you can see events, and you can see timelines, and you can see like everything is kind of in there. But there's also a setting, and that I'm not gonna be able to find it before we run out of time, because we do this kind of like you, like once every 2 years you have to fix one of these things. But like not only do you have to modify a layout, but then you also have to assign it, and I think by app. Does that sound right, Joy?
I'm struggling because I have experience with the old App Store timeline
Right?
and my brain is breaking a little bit. So I am digging.
Is
Um,
is the
you
fat
have to add timeline to a page, right? And there's so
well, but it's not actually the timeline she's modifying. It's the
It's the related
tile
object.
that's linked to the object that's linked in the timeline that she wants to change.
is it the filter? Like,
So
No,
this guy
like,
right
you see how
here,
it
where
says,
I'm
like-
hovering. So where it says
Mhm.
amount type, like maybe I want to add a field or I want to remove a field.
it's what
Go
you
to-
want to display per activity. Is
Yeah.
that
So-
going to be
Can you show me
Go to
some?
activity in your objects. I'm pretty sure. There's yeah.
It's not it would be task. Activity is the overall, 'cause
Okay.
events and tasks are activities, but this is a different object entirely, but it still runs in the same feature set.
Mhm.
And I'm
Field sets. I'm sure it's a field set.
No.
Oh, I guess
No.
not.
Can you go back to the timeline and setup? I'm just looking at an article. It says something about related objects.
Here, Anne, I found my glasses.
Thank
Burn your glasses
you.
in the face.
I found my sparkle sunglasses.
So I don't know which timeline you're on right there.
So financial account timeline, because if I'm looking at this as a financial account.
Okay, then related lists.
Right.
So within the timeline, if you go into the actual timeline,
on the far
the
right,
pull down.
there's a drop down and select view. And then timeline related
objects.
That's where you're going to be able to select what is there.
Everything
Well,
is,
if you
this is
can,
new to me, I mean.
I can't edit.
yeah.
Okay.
And this might be a provided one, so you might have to create.
Clone
You might have to
and
clone it or
do
create a new
custom
one.
if it's packaged up. If it's a standard out of the box.
Okay, so if I create,
Right. And in the bottom right hand corner, there was a help modal that popped up. It's gone now, but
okay, let me deactivate.
Well, or just you might even try a new timeline.
there you go. Deactivate and then edit.
Yeah, so
Sometimes-
it's like that agent force pattern. Ugh.
It's well, I mean, it's good. Like you shouldn't like to deactivate while you're editing. That's a good. It's like, it's good.
Okay, interesting. I can't add more.
It,
But
it
I
might.
think this is still just adding objects, not what displays in the tile.
These
right?
are defining the fields to display on the timeline. And
It says
so
it's-
you get
yeah.
title, subtitle, and timestamp. It doesn't look like you have a heck of a lot.
it
Oh,
does
here
not.
you go. Oh, okay.
Excellent.
Ah, done.
Okay, now I feel better because I was like, how do I edit
Good.
this? I need more. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, problem solved.
All right. So you're going to add over whatever's thing. You're going to click add and then save and activate.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I love working together.
Yeah. It's kind of like that whole side by side situation. It just,
because literally I thought it was compact page layout, and I was like clicking all
Yeah.
these objects. I was like, it doesn't match. Where do I go and edit this? But
Well,
did
so
not deactivate.
So is
So-
this tied to all industry clouds? Is this how you modify your timeline for all the industry clouds? Because it's not sales or service.
As far as I can
I don't
understand,
think you get timeline with just sales and service.
this is specific to industry cloud, and
industry service
Joy is
excellence.
correct. There is an equivalent on the App Exchange, although this is not the App Exchange version.
No.
of it.
The App Exchange version does not work like this at all. And this is one of the things there. it kind of looks like that, but it doesn't work like that at all.
And it's called timeline though.
It is, yeah, it is called Timeline. Oh, fun. But it does have a really cool feature where it gives you like an
A
old school
horizontal,
timeline.
like,
Yeah, thank
yeah.
you. Horizontal is the right word. Stepping through of the history of the record. I
Well,
like it.
So I want to, Linda, you said that you don't get a timeline on Sales Cloud, but you do. It's just not this timeline. I mean, the activity timeline exists in Sales and
Well,
Service Cloud.
activity timeline is different. This is literally something, this is way different.
Yeah,
Right.
this is beyond just activities.
This
Right, but-
allows you to say, like, I can throw in birthday there. I can throw in like a custom anniversary field.
I can show transactions.
Right. I could
Da-
say
data cloud
or
stuff.
If
You
it
could
was
add
like
data
a
cloud stuff. Yep.
financial services, I could add the date that every account opened or when an account closed, stuff like that.
So I guess just for perpetuities, it's not that you can't have a timeline because they both exist in both clouds. It's that this industry timeline is a different thing than the activity timeline, same word in a different cloud. I just want to make sure we don't
Yeah,
say
so there's
doesn't
three.
exist.
There's activity timeline, the Salesforce Lab App Exchange timeline, and then the industry cloud timeline, which is what I'm showing on my screen right now.
Yep. Okay.
Mhm. Industry service excellence permission set license.
So the Salesforce Labs timeline, what I've never seen that in action. What is that? Is it just this, but for
It's
custom
really
configuration?
cool.
I'll defer
It
over
is-
to Joy.
It's been a minute, but Linda and I worked together with that one.
I don't have an example of it. I don't have it in anywhere.
I don't either, but I'm gonna pull up the App Exchange piece and make
Well,
sure
I'm
you guys
gonna
have the
install it
link.
after the call and figure it out because I've never heard of it, and I'm
It's a lot of fun. And let me see. Let me make sure I can share my screen.
Right.
with
And
you
so
all.
that's I too, Squire. So that's why I was like, when was this released? Because I don't remember this.
Well, that's what makes it hard to search,
I
though,
think it
is
was-
because it
like,
exists.
When was it?
Right? Like the name of the thing exists. And so yeah, it's free. It doesn't require payment. There's a whole little demo. Why is this so enormous? I'm sorry, friends.
Summer 24, Anne.
Okay.
The industry
then I
one that
don't
you're
feel so
talking
bad.
about.
I was like,
No. I want to just show, I don't want to watch a video. I just want to show you some screenshots.
I don't remember if they had the horizontal timeline.
They do. They have a whole thing where
I know, but I don't remember if they had like a good screenshot of it.
no, they don't. I don't see it, but probably in the video. You guys want to watch a demo? We can do that.
no, I want to watch demo.
You
No, we
guys can
only
do
have
it.
10
You can do it on your own time.
Yeah.
and
we'll
the
put some-
demo's
we'll-
only like 57 seconds, FYI.
Yeah, so the I'm not gonna, I don't know what this is gonna happen. You guys, what is happening? Someone's gonna call me and ask me if I want to buy something next.
Yeah.
Oh, close that out. Whoa. Sorry, friends. But this one has been out since 2020. And so, take a look at it. It's really fun because you can visualize your related records in a whole new way. Yay, custom activity timeline. It's similar, but it also has a horizontal component. Training people on how to add things to it, gets executives really excited about what they can see at a
Well,
glance.
We're in the midst of a conversion that could use a custom timeline, and we were trying to figure out how we were going to get there without paying for FSC. So that's
Yeah,
why.
there you go.
So now
There you go.
I've
Yep.
got something to do this afternoon. So
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
I
And
think.
you guys, so that's good stuff. So anything else we got going on today? Clayton, did you bring any challenges with you? Or you just come for the entertainment?
Well,
Because I
can
know it's
just
important.
Throw out
That is
that we
crazy.
Yeah.
exceeded the 15-minute expectation. So good
did.
job, people.
We
Hey.
did. Pat brought the time. It's great. I love it. Like, man, this week I got to explain to someone the difference between record access and field access, and their mind was kind of like, yes. I was like, oh wow, Joy's brain's working today. Fantastic. Fantastic.
I've got a question with the last 9 minutes. I was hoping for a larger group. Not that I don't value all of your input, but I have a question. So
Send your responses when you watch this on YouTube to Squire because he wants to know what you have to say too.
Yeah. So I have a recently graduated computer science major sitting 3 feet away from me who is looking for an opportunity to be employed.
Yeah.
And he's sick of, he's not going to get on screen. Sorry, Ann. And he is sick of me telling him what to do. So if you were going to give some advice about why the Salesforce path is a good path from your own perspective, from a computer science, like give me your 2-minute version. He's listening. He's great.
Before we all give advice, I would encourage you to talk to our friend Christy Kane, who also had a similar situation in the last couple of years.
Okay.
And Christy's recently graduated student is gainfully employed at this point. So does anyone want to go before I rant? Because I got some good stuff. Go ahead, Pat.
Yep. You're on mute though.
Oh no, it was going to be a good intro. Pat, try again.
Yeah, I was
Unmute.
good.
Pat,
still
you're
on
muted.
There she is.
All right. Okay. Since I am arguably the oldest person here, I am. Anyway, I am. Okay. I started working over 40 years ago out of college. Okay. So since I'm arguably the oldest person here, it is a field that you can get into and learn and learn and learn, and at any age. It's just like an accountant or your lawyer practicing their whole life, that you never outgrow it. And an accountant is an accountant their whole life. They can be an accountant until 95, or they can be a lawyer until 95. The other thing is that Microsoft never gave you a free t-shirt.
Woo!
You don't get this help on Microsoft. You don't get this help in other industries. You can ask any arcane question and somebody eventually is going to help you. And there are groups all over the world that, hey, I'm going to be in Tampa such and such a week. Do they have a group? Yeah, I can go to their group meeting. Or I'm going to be in England or somewhere, or blah, blah, blah. Now, there may be some fallout from what's going on with other things now, but still, these are the most helpful people in the world. And where can you go and have this much fun with some of the people you've never met in your real life? Who would give you this help? A lot of
I've met you in real life. I've met you.
Yeah, you, but I've never met Squire, Linda, Clayton, or Ann in real life. And I think I met you on a fluke. That was just happened to be.
I met you in real life. It's just not in person. I apologize, but this is
Right,
reality.
well, not in person. I've never met any of you in person. And most of the people on this call I've never met in person. And anybody would help me if I said, I really, really, really. I mean, when I first got this org, I'm like, But so there is not a more helpful, fun, impactful, educational group that you could say, oh, I have friends here, 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 here. Okay.
I
Sounds
think
like
you'll
a
find
community talk.
pockets of that sometimes, but consistently you find it in the Salesforce ecosystem.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll echo, like, the people have made my career the best part of my career. I mean, it's cool to build stuff. It's better to know people like you. So
I will
What-
also add, depending on your recent grad's desire, you can go as technical and non-tech. You can straddle both if you'd like. There's a lot of movement that is allowed, and I've seen a lot of people successfully navigate, between technical, non-technical, sales, pre-sales, the delivery, and outside of the beautiful support that Pat alluded to, right? And look at look who dad is. Come on. And so I think, and you know, and dude, there's a fan club. Tell him, can you please tell him that?
He's gonna scare him off. He's already shaking his head. So, all right.
I mean, what do you do when your dad's like Ozzy Osbourne? Come on.
Yeah.
I'd also say that it's a good way to get your feet wet,
Yep.
because the community and the organizations that hire Salesforce people are a little more welcoming, a little more open to people who are more beginners. We're going to call it that. And it's a great way to get your feet wet in a particular technology, in maybe a higher level concept that you're interested in. So like, say maybe you want to get into cybersecurity, on Salesforce, get strong with that. It's easier to make that leap to it in other platforms when you need to.
Yes, very much transferable skills. I would definitely recommend getting involved or aware of adjacent platforms and products, which is also really, really good. So I think it's kind of like the entry drug to a lot of cool tech career stuff.
It's the gateway. So it's the gateway technology to a lot
Yes.
of other things.
Thank you. That's a better phrase than me.
Be it Snowflake, be it Slack, be it like just the data cloud like is so big. There's so much, and you know, you can really he has an advantage, right, with the CS degree that a lot of folks that have entered the Salesforce space don't have. I don't have a CS degree. I know there are a lot of people who have a CS degree, and they have a huge advantage over folks that are just be like, I'm going to be a trailblazer. And so you can take what you know about computer software design and development and all of that and run with it. And you can do really well, really fast, because you are not starting as a beginner. You are starting as someone with a CS degree beginning in Salesforce. That is it. That is two entirely different things. But I would say dabble in it, figure it out, take advantage of it, because your CS degree is going to get you that entry level job, that starting job faster than someone else. And you do have a network of folks that not everyone has who's in your shoes, just because your lifeline is, 3 feet away from you. It is a network that I have called on many times. It is a network that I have flexed on behalf of other people many times. So I have also like flexed in on behalf of someone else. So transportation. That's what I was going to say. Transportation for a Salesforce job is usually pretty low if you can get a remote gig. Like, it's great. Um, I I owe my career to Salesforce, and I thought I was going to be working in a school system, but here I am working in Salesforce and pretty happy working in tech. So, any other advice, Linda, Clayton? Do you have anything to add? Poor
I would-
Squires kid.
I would
It's
just
2:00.
say that, I'd just say that, the thing, I've worked with Microsoft Dynamics before I got into Salesforce, and
Mm-hmm.
just the ease of learning, Trailblazer, and the people and the network and the amount of videos you can look at. It's just an abundance of information. Like you said, you can go down a lot of different paths. I wish I was, 20, 30 years younger and had this, because I think
Mhm.
I'm just starting to get into the other side, more technical side, and there are a lot of transferable skills.
Great. It's great.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate that. He just signed up for Trailhead, so he's going to be a admin. He's got nothing better to do but get his certification this week. So
Hey, if he wants to get like, there's a whole data cloud data day in Chicago on Tuesday. If he
Oh,
wants
that's
to
true.
like take the train down, I'll make sure you get the link out. I don't know what they're all doing. I can't make that one, but it's at the tower. Like,
Well, awesome.
yeah, easy peasy.
Yep.
All right, friends. Happy Friday. We'll see you next time. All the hearts and all the love. Pat, you about made me cry. Like, I'm glad that we can be here for you. I'm glad. I'm really glad. I wish everyone knew that there was a place that they can ask questions and they didn't have to, you don't have to Google everything. You don't have to agent everything. Sometimes you just have to walk through it in your mouth and talk it out a little bit to get to where you need. And thank you, Pat. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. You
All
know,
right,
I tell the
friends.
truth.
We know.
Hey, my first job, I worked
know.
from
We
9
know.
p.m. to 5 a.m. Monday through Friday or Sunday through Friday and a half night on Friday night. So,
Say it. Yeah, speak the truth. That's all you got. That's all you can do.
Yep.
All
all right.
right. With
Thank
that,
you guys.
yeah, happy Friday. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.